this is why I could never live in the city. I just went to get a FedEx pickup. I had to park all the way down the street, walk up.
Oh, I just had the sweetest interaction. I've had so many sweet interactions lately. I'm gonna try not to cry. After my son died, I was so scared that I wasn't gonna be able to feel like a mom and talk about my son or talk about our story that defines me. Like, my child coming into earth and then having the journey he had really impacted me, and it's become who I am. And when he died, it was so hard that I just had to start living this whole new life. And it was even harder because people didn't want me to talk about my old life. And so it was really painful for me. And honestly, I didn't want to start living my new life. I wanted to just live the life that I had with Tad. So it was really hard to move on. But eventually I had to. Anyways, I'm learning how to tell my story now. So I went and got coffee, and the guy asked me, like, am I from here? And then I told him how I'm nomading and just living on the road, whatever, and he tells me how he wishes that he could do that. And then I told him why I'm doing this, about Tad. And it's so crazy, but when Tad died, I hated my story. I hated it. I hated that every day I had to wake up and be the person that lost her son in such a traumatic way, and it scarred me. And I was just so scared that I was gonna have to go off and live a completely different life because I couldn't imagine how I was gonna still be able to talk about Tad and his impact without it being such a sad story because of the way that his life ended. I just couldn't see past how horrible it was. But now I talk to people on a daily basis and Tad comes up, I would say 70 to 80% of the time. And sometimes it makes people uncomfortable, but a lot of times it just startles people. And I think they have this second of thinking, oh my gosh, I could never imagine, or I would have never have thought that. And I used to think that that was bad because they would react and it would make me feel like it was my fault. But now I'm realizing Tad's death woke me up. And now every time that I tell somebody about his death, it gives them a little glimmer of being woken up because it reminds them how precious life is. But oh my gosh, it's painful to live with on a day-to-day basis. But now I'm realizing that this is such a big gift. And Tad's life was so powerful when he was here. And so to see what it's transformed into now that he's passed is so beautiful. And the fact that I get to help keep his memory alive and keep him doing all the great things that he always does is so special. Oh, I love Tad so much. I love being a mom.
I'm up and ready. It's Friday, July 4th. I hung out with my friend yesterday and I had so much fun hanging out with her. It's so funny. I actually met her on Instagram and we've been like friends, social media friends, for like the last 5-6 years. And we've never met in person, and we finally got to meet in person last night, and it just feels so good. I don't know. People always say like, wasn't that gonna be awkward ever? But it truly is like most authentic friendships when it's not like we had a superficial friendship. I guess that's the thing online. But I will say, meeting with her and seeing her son, it wasn't triggering like I thought it was. Like when Tad first died, I couldn't even be around children. Like it was just too much. And then I could be around children, but I couldn't really be around medical children. And now I feel better, but it was kind of hard, like talking to her and like being kind of back into that life and hearing about this new bill that's going to be passed and stuff. Just, I don't know, it just makes me so sad for the medical communities right now. And it also makes me feel so disconnected and like ignorant, but much as like I can hear what they're going through, I don't know what they're going through right now because I've never experienced that, and I can't even imagine like fear I would have if I had Tad here and the thought that he could lose Medicaid. I don't even know. It's a really hard thing. So trying to be easy on myself as I feel for what's happening, but also giving myself grace that it isn't my life right now, and unfortunately there's not really anything that anybody can do. But a little heaviness along with a lot of happiness. Like, it was really cool. Like, came up to me and like held my hands and showed me all his little wheelies in his little car and like sitting around. He was really cute. He felt like really accepting of me, which felt really good. So now I'm up and I'm ready. I'm gonna go meet up with her. We're gonna go to the beach this morning and check out, grab some coffee, and then I hit the road to go back to Seattle, drop off my rental car, and then get in my train tonight. I'm excited. I think that this will be like good for me to like a spot to like stay for 48 hours, like down and organize your life, because that is my carry-on bag, like book bag. That thing is freaking like can barely zip it. Like all my suitcases are like packed right now. So tomorrow getting on the train is going to be a little reality check for me that like whatever you own, you're carrying with you. Do you really want to own this much stuff? And I can't even tell you how much stuff I've already gotten rid of. So I don't know. We're going to see. Today's going to be an adventure, but here we go. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Go on the ferry, yeah.
No, when I saw you were like, I'm taking a ferry today, and then I saw. That's really cool. Alright, so now I'm starting my journey on my train from Seattle, Washington to Chicago, Illinois. And this was one of my like key points that I was actually planned on this whole 3-month journey before I leave the country. So anyways, I booked the ticket and then I ended up doing an upbid, which is basically you like bid on an upgrade, and I got one of these little roomettes. Highly recommend. It just, I don't know, you get to sit in your little own cabin, and it's got 2 little chairs that turn into a bed at nighttime, and a bed pulls down from like the top, so you can sleep 2 in there. And when you have the roomette, you get complimentary meals. So I got breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I mean, like, look what I woke up to. Okay, I slept through what's that state? Idaho. I slept through Idaho. This is me the first morning walking downstairs. You also get the shower. It was a struggle to figure out, but I figured it out. And then I walked down and I had breakfast in the little dining cart, which you can choose to have your meals in the dining cart, or you can have them brought to your room, which, look at me, I was so comfy. I had all my stuff. I was like living it up. Honestly, this is like probably the most like home I've felt in a while, being in one spot for 48 hours. It was really nice. And then the scenery, it was beautiful. I think that riding a train will always be my like number one way to travel and also make the most of it, by being able to like see the environment. Like, look at this. This is a little town in Minnesota. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not very good at geography, whatever. But it was beautiful, and to be able to like go through all these different states was really cool. And I had all my meals brought to me because I just like lived up the whole little antisocial introvert vacation, because this is literally like ideal introvert vacation, because you don't have to talk to anybody if you don't want to. You can just stay in your little room and have your meals brought to you. But I did try to be a little bit adventurous, so this morning I took a shower and then I walked down to the observation car, which this is a really cool car, and everybody who rides a train has access to this. You get like good views of everything. And this is my breakfast. This is the last morning, so now we're into Minnesota, and then shortly we'll be into Wisconsin and then Illinois, which is my final stop. And honestly, this was such a cool experience.